Welcome to the Homepreneur Heroes podcast, the show where we shine a spotlight on the unsung heroes of the home services industry. Join us as we delve into the inspiring stories of entrepreneurs who have turned their passion for serving homeowners into thriving businesses. Our guests share their journeys, insights, and strategies for success. Get ready to be inspired and learn from the best in the business. And now your host, Marco Salinas.
Welcome to the Homepreneur Heroes podcast, proudly sponsored by Pina Colada Media, where we spotlight the remarkable journeys of home service entrepreneurs. I am your host, Marco Salinas, and each episode we explore the stories behind successful businesses in HVAC, plumbing, and other essential home services. Join us as we uncover the secrets to their success and learn valuable tips for aspiring homepreneurs. Today, I have a very special guest joining me, a very good friend of mine, Mr. Jorge Bassante. And I'm going to keep the introduction pretty short and sweet, Jorge, because we're going to talk to you, and I want to be able to find out and learn more about you, obviously, in the interview, rather than doing a long-winded, introduction. But you have a very, very special situation here and a very special story, and you are an extremely inspiring individual. So I'm super excited to have you on the show, to talk to you, to learn more about you. And like I said, every time I talk to you, man, you pump me up, you inspire me. So Jorge, welcome to the Homepreneur Heroes podcast, my friend.
Marquito, thank you so much for having me on. Congrats on your new podcast.
Thank you so much, my friend. Like I said, I'm so excited to talk with you. I've had the honor and the pleasure to get to know you over the last year or so, and your situation it always pumps me up, because I'm gonna be honest, man. Maybe let me just give this little note here before we dive into your story. But sometimes, as an entrepreneur, and anybody that's listening to this that's been an entrepreneur understands that we have highs and we have lows in business, right? Sometimes, man, you got to have some big cojones to be able to weather the difficult moments. And sometimes it's not the easiest thing in the world to overcome some of the difficult moments. But one thing is that I think about you from time to time, because you have a disability. You're very open about it. You talk about it very often. I see your social media and you talk about these things. And sometimes I'm like, I make excuses of why maybe I couldn't figure something out, or why I'm struggling and this and that. And then I think about guys like you, man, that, you don't let those types of obstacles slow you down. And so I want to talk a little bit about that, okay, in this episode, because I love the fact that you're one of those guys that just never let these things get in your way. And you've been able to build a very successful HVAC business, and you've had a lot of success over the years. And so let's start with this. Share with me, please, Jorge, first and foremost, how did you get started with your home services business, and what inspired you to enter into this industry?
Yeah, well, like I said, again, thanks, Marcus, for the invitation.
Yes, sir.
Love to be here. And if I pump you up, even sometimes that makes my day. So I truly appreciate those words, for sure.
Of course.
So I was actually a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Ecuador, so I come from. I immigrated to the States, when I was 11. And, I did pretty well in school, graduated at the top of my class, was a teacher for a couple of years, went back to Ecuador to work in the oil sector. And while I was there, I really got tired of sort of, low pay, sort of government job. And I was talking to my uncle one night, and he was working for a Dallas HVAC contractor at the time. So it just occurred to me that I said to him, hey, why don't I start a company, an HVAC company, because I really wanted to go back to the States, but obviously did not have a job or anything lined up here. So I said to him, hey, why don't I start a company and you come in and sell for me? And he was like, yeah, sure, we can definitely do that. I sell for this guy one night. I would love to sell for you. That's not a problem. And I filed an LLC, so I got an LLC, EIN number, opened up a bank account, and I had my uncle come and sell for me. And like many entrepreneurs, I thought I had it made, but oh boy, I had no idea what on earth I was getting myself into. Really, had no idea.
Yes.
And so that was about 8 years ago, around 2016 or so, and that's really how I got started.
I love that. And so today you are officially the CEO and owner of a company called Horizon Air, and you're based now out
That's
of
correct.
Houston, Texas, correct?
That's correct.
And that's the
Yes, sir.
primary market that you serve, Houston.
That's correct. So we do some work. We do mainly our work comes from Houston. We do some stuff in the Valley as well.
Got it. Okay, that's good stuff. Okay, now I had alluded to the fact that there was a disability, that there was something very unique about you, and so let's dive right into that. You are 100% legally blind, and
Yes,
you
sir.
have been.
Yeah. It's about 3 months old. I got diagnosed with macular degeneration, visual condition, and yeah. So it's, obviously I had to learn Braille and learn how to use assistive technology to help me navigate and work on the computer and those sort of things.
Yes. And so I think that there are some people that might be listening to this, Jorge, that might say, my eyes work just fine, and I have some serious difficulty running my business. It's not easy. But let's add to the fact, all of a sudden one day, now I can't see. I can't see what I'm doing. I think a lot of
Yes.
people would pretty much throw in the towel right there. That's it. I'm done. You can't run a business like that, right? But again, like I was saying earlier, you didn't let that stop you, right? You did not allow the disability to become any kind of a crutch in your life to tell you that you can't succeed and that you can't be smart, first of all, because you were one of the top in your class. Second of all, that you can't learn new strategies and new skills, that you can't be in charge of other people that are employees of yours, and that again, that you ultimately cannot run a business. None of that has ever stopped you from achieving your goals and your dreams. Am I right?
That's absolutely correct, Marcus. So what I think is actually, if you have some type of disability, or if you have faced so many challenges, if you had difficulties in your upbringing, in your childhood, that is actually a gift given to you, either by God, by the universe,
Yes.
you name it. It doesn't matter. That is actually a gift that you can use to propel yourself forward, to be successful, and succeed beyond what is deemed ordinary, or what is um, deemed to be normal. And the reason for that being is that you, unlike so many people that going through entrepreneurship thinking this is going to be a it's going to be easy, it's going to be a walk uh, down the park.
Yes.
It's they just don't understand how difficult it is to actually you know um, start a business, to run a business, and grow a business. And you, as a, in this case, visually impaired entrepreneur, or someone with a disability, know how hard things are, how tough it is to make it through life, whether it be at home, school, whatever. So you always had to like work hard, work uh, twice as hard as some other
Yes.
people to get maybe the same results, or to get even just a little better results. And so when you're faced with entrepreneurship and all the hardships and tribulations that you're going to go through, you're just less likely to give up, because you actually have faced many of those difficulties and many of those challenges you know th- throughout all of your
Wow.
life. So it doesn't come as new to you.
Right.
So you're able to handle it better, You're able to not lose composure. You're able to stay motivated because it's like almost a little bit like second nature to
Wow.
you. Where some other people would just crumble under those same
Wow,
circumstances.
this is incredible. So let me make sure I heard you correctly, Jorge. You're basically telling me, in a sense, that you think that you may have an advantage actually over the competition because of the disability. I mean, am I crazy for interpreting what you're saying like that?
Yes. Obviously, nobody wants to have nobody wants a disability just so they can have that sort of entrepreneurial
Right.
advantage. Obviously, that's not what I am saying. What I'm saying is like if you have needed to or have gone through many challenges, whether that be at home you had trouble at home, you come from a divorced parents, or your dad and your mom, they beat you up when you were young, or your teachers were not good, whatever, schooling wasn't good to you, whatever hard upbringing that you had, when you're sort of in the world of entrepreneurship, all that really you can use that towards your
Wow.
advantage to propel you forward, to give you that sort of drive, that edge, that motivation that you need, that you're gonna definitely need when things become really tough.
Yes.
When it's at the end of the month and you can't make payroll. When your marketing, your sales is not working the way that you would have hoped. So when your employees are quitting on you. When so much BS that happens when you're running a business, that it makes you wanna quit almost on a daily basis. You
Right.
want to say, but I always have a saying that if there's there's always a good time to quit. There's always a great moment for that, and so I always say to myself, I'm going to put that off. I'm going to quit tomorrow,
Yes.
not today. I'd rather quit tomorrow.
Oh my God.
And of course, that tomorrow never comes. So you kind of have that, that sort of mental model that you use to be able to, keep pushing through
Yeah.
and just, trying to make things happen.
That's exactly right. No, man, that is like so profound, man. Such great wisdom that you are sharing with us here today. So now my question to you is this, Jorge, and I think if the listeners are tuning in, they're thinking to themselves, okay, so how does a person with a visual impairment, how do they actually run the business? So my question to you is like when we hung out the last time, you have some technology I saw that was helping you. You rely a lot on your phone. It takes anything that's written and it turns it into an audio format for you, and you're able to listen to it. By the way, it comes out fast. It comes out very fast. So you're used to listening to these things at a very rapid rate, and so like how do you adapt to the challenges like that? Like, is it just purely based on technology, that kind of lifts you up and helps you in some of those areas? Can you maybe share a little bit how you overcome some of those challenges as an actual business owner?
Yeah, so I use a lot of, like you said, a lot of technology. I use basically my computer and my phone with screen reader technology, and that sort of helped me navigate and work through those. So I have various technology in the computer and some other ones for the phone. I also use a lot of assistive technology and things from IRA, which are like virtual agents that sort of help you through the computer. I use a lot of Braille things too, like Braille maps, and I take some notes in Braille. So really, I just use a lot of combination of things that work for me that are gonna help me, perform my job, that are gonna help me lead my company, that are gonna help me be
Yes.
successful. And so I really use a little bit of everything. Anything that would help me along, I would use. So a lot of apps on the phone, obviously through the iPhone, and things like
I
that.
see. Yeah, no, that's really interesting stuff, and I think it's incredible how far the technology has come, and I think obviously you're embracing it. you're using it a lot, and it really helps you to take care of all the things that you need to take care of, basically. So it's pretty phenomenal, man. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Let's transition a little bit to the more of the operations of your individual company. I'm curious to know this about you, Jorge. Obviously out there in the business world, there's your customer is in need of good service, right? To be honest, the customer doesn't care so much about what is the story of the business owner, what is their background, what challenges have they overcome. At the end of the day, the customers that we serve, they just need the job done, and they need it done properly. So in your world, what have you done to kind of ensure that you have a good reputation and that you are considered a very trustworthy resource in the HVAC community there in Houston in the Rio Grande Valley?
Yeah, so I'm a very customer focused sort of company. Everything here is really about providing the best service possible to the customer. It's really about delighting the
Yes.
customer. Getting raving fans of my company. I try to do that by hiring the best. I only hire the best people that that have the expertise, that in my case are net certified, that have amazing credentials, that have licenses, that I know are going to give customers that sort of 5-star experience that we seek here
Sure.
at Horizon Air Solutions. I also like to have the best software possible. We have the best CRMs, and I'm on service side. We use the best sort of dispatching software for that. So just make sure that operations are able to run efficiently and effectively. So, that's another thing that we use. We try to have newer trucks that are wrapped, that are looking great and everything.
Yes.
So we have a great sort of branding or image rather in the market, in the marketplace.
Yes.
So I try to give my employees, treat them well, pay them really high commissions, have PTOs, have health insurance, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So they're happy employees here, that happy employee would help you gain a happy customer as well, because they'll come into to their work every day really happy to be here, and they'll do their best at their jobs. So those are some of the things that we do here to make sure that our customers are well served,
Yes.
and that they're well taken care of.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. And when you take care of the staff, it's just kind of a natural, it just kind of drips down, right? Down to the customer satisfaction. It's like you're talking to this employee and you can say, we've all been there, right? Like you could tell that this guy really likes his job. You could tell he's happy. And the reverse, the opposite is true. I've gone to places, or people have come to me and I'm thinking, this guy seems miserable, man. He does not look or sound like he's satisfied with his job. And it's like he's taking it out on me, the customer, the end user. So those are vital things. Those are very, very important things to take care of the team, to take care of the staff, and they in turn will take care of your customer for you. Right.
There are some, that's correct. There are some very worrying statistics about, I'm not really sure the number, but some really high numbers in terms of employees being, unsatisfied at work, or not happy at work, and dissatisfied with their careers and all that. So that's something that obviously needs to be taken in very seriously, and needs to be taken into consideration as well, as part of having an amazing culture, an amazing place for your employees. So that's something that over at Horizon we're hoping to strengthen as well.
Yeah.
So we want to have a bigger, even a bigger building, more benefits for our employees. Treat them maybe even better,
Yeah.
because they are they are ultimately, they they're the ones that are really representing your company to customers, and the growth of your company and the reputation is basically based upon that.
Yeah. I agree, my friend. Yeah, good stuff. Now, being the marketing nerd that I am, this is what one of the things that I geek out on. Obviously, is all the marketing stuff, and so I always love to ask the homepreneur what strategies have been most effective for attracting, new customers for you in terms of marketing and promotion of your home services business.
Well, we're currently a $3 million company. We're trying to go to 5 million this year. And so I often recommend people what they do right now is obviously focus on that sort of guerrilla marketing, going on to those BNI meetings, go to Chamber of Commerce, knock on doors, get your flyers out there, canvas, maybe start building that website. Getting those 5 stars review. This is something that I've been focusing on with my team a lot. Is really getting those 5 stars reviews.
Yeah.
We want to get to hundreds this year, and so I would definitely focus on that to be able to get into your first customers, get those referrals. Beginning to build that sort of database of customers, and obviously putting a fence around those customers. Being able to sell them maintenance agreements. Get them, recurring, making them buy from you again and again and again. And I think that after you get to that sort of 3 to 5 million, I believe those are the best ways to
Yes.
market, to get leads, and to make
That's
sales.
great. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Now, here's an important one, Jorge. So, you've been in business since 2016, so you've got some experience under your belt. You've probably tried different things, and some things work very well. Other things, you try it, then you have to scrap it because it doesn't always work out. But my question to you is, today, where we're at the time of this recording, 2024, given all of your experience and all of your success thus far, I'm still curious to know what challenges that you are currently working to overcome in your business at this point here today.
Well, Marcus, so some of the challenges that I have really are not unique to me. They're shared by almost everybody in the industry, which is talent, finding talent, getting leads, um, training people, those sort of
Yes,
challenges. I don't think those are unique to Horizon, quite
sure.
honestly. And I believe that that is where really having a lot of those processes in place, some of those systems put in place are really helpful and can help you out with that. In other words, having a good, hiring strategy, make sure that you have, all the benefits there for your
Yes.
employees. Make sure they have a solid, customer base that you can tap in. So, I think those are some of the things that are probably going to, be here for us here, this year and the upcoming
Yes.
years. In other words, I don't think they go away once you're like a 50 million, 100 million. I think the $100 million company still has those same problems, which are finding people, getting leads, training those, finding vehicles, just a lot of those
Yep.
things. And I think it's just sort of taking a proactive approach to those problems are probably what's going to get you through them.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think a lot of those things are just universal for any business. Especially again, sometimes even when you've been around, you're an experienced company. Certain struggles just never go away. You're always trying to address that that specific problem, and so
That's
whether you're big or medium or small, some of these things you just kind of have to tell yourself, I'm always going to have to be working on that. Now, that's a perfect segue to my next question, Jorge, which is, if somebody's listening to this and they are considering starting a home services business, what advice are you giving someone like that? I mean, are there any specific skills or knowledge? Like, that they should have? What should they focus on mostly if they're starting a new business, especially in the home services world?
Yes, Marcus. So what I often tell people is, if they want to start a business, obviously have a good, business plan put in place. Know exactly, who your customer, who you're going to sell to. Basically have a couple of years worth of savings as well. You're probably not going to make money like the first couple of years. Lucky to break even. I just give them to them straight.
Right.
I don't tell them, hey, you're going to go into business. Oh, wonderful. You're going to become a millionaire in 6 months. At least that's not my experience. Maybe if you're, starting some other company, I'm not saying some other people have not done it, but certainly does not be my experience. I like to tell them to, quite honestly, tell them the truth, to be prepared for long nights, for nights and weekends, for missing your daughter's or son's soccer game,
Yes.
for making a lot of sacrifices, especially if you're in HVAC, to basically forget about the summer for a couple of years. You just probably just not gonna have time to be in the pool lounging and drinking pina coladas. That's not gonna happen. And so I try to tell them this just so they are prepared, for entrepreneurship, for the business world. It's not really meant to scare them off. I certainly encourage people to start their own companies, to find financial freedom, which is something that we're all after.
Yes.
But unfortunately, we're after that sort of elusive financial freedom that is actually there, but you have to sort of realize that at first you're basically going to have a low paying sort of job for the first couple of years until you get everything up and running.
Yes. No, man, I appreciate your brutal honesty in a sense, because that's what the young entrepreneur needs. They need to know what it is that they're signing up for in advance. They need to
Yeah.
know that it's not all sunshine and roses, and especially they need to
That's
know that when they see a successful entrepreneur, maybe he has earned certain things, right? Maybe he has the Rolex, maybe he has even a nice vehicle, maybe he's driving a Lambo, maybe he's got a big beautiful house. That did not look like that the first 2, 3, maybe even 4, 5 years. Those guys were probably barely making ends meet. They didn't see the times that they had to eat ramen, back to back for long periods of time. They couldn't barely pay their employees, let alone themselves. You have no idea what the entrepreneur went through, and you cannot base it on the end result. They very likely went
so
through hell to get there. Am I right, or am I just
so
completely off on that?
Oh, you're absolutely right, Marcus. And not only that, you have to kind of think about also like the kind of era we're in right now, this social media era,
Hmm.
right? So, I hate to say this, but a lot of those Lambos and a lot of those jets and a lot of that, all of those things some of this is leased and some of them is just rented for a day. Okay, so if you're believing if you believe in everything that you see online and on Instagram and social media, and you think that's the real life, then you have some of the issues to deal with. Okay, so that we'll leave that
Right.
aside. But so a lot of those people are, quite honestly, I would love to see their actual profits and their
That's
financials.
right.
They do, I would love to see them post that instead of some other things. But having said all that, you're absolutely correct. Those people that are actually doing pretty well and that are wealthy and everything, probably they weren't that way the first couple of years.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Now that also leads to, and we're getting pretty close to wrapping up here. But I do want to ask you this. Now, you just gave amazing advice. What was maybe something that was said to you at some point in time, Jorge, as far as advice that really stood out to you, along your journey, whether it was the beginning or whether it was yesterday? What is some really good business advice or life advice that you received yourself?
Well, I really, one of the uh, greatest advice I ever received was given to me by my godfather. He actually said, leaders are readers. If you want to be a leader of your company, a leader of people, you have to read. So I became an avid reader. I try to read, a lot of books
Yes.
on a, monthly basis and yearly. I've read hundreds, if not thousands, of books on entrepreneurship, self-help, business, autobiographies of business people, and so I think that would be my advice to people: is just read a lot, study those people, and emulate what they did. Try to learn as much as you can about their journey, and that you can get for $20 or so. Their 40-year journey, you can get them for $20 in the
That's
book,
right.
and try to study it, apply it, and sooner or later, sooner rather, you will start sort of adapting sort of their mindset and the way that they um, you know um, do business, and the way they negotiate and the way they market, and so many things. So that would be my advice, to just read and study those people.
Well, Jorge, your advice happens to be some of the I should say the advice you were given happens to be some of the same really good advice that I received, because I'm a big book reader as well, and it's been just a game changer for me. So I really appreciate that you mentioned that, because you can never ever go wrong with reading and reading more and learning more from others who have done this before you and that have had these long journeys and experienced so many things that we're so fortunate that they would condense that information down into one place where we can all, go straight to the source and read and learn from it. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a
Yeah.
big life hack. That's an amazing life hack right there that you just said.
Yeah, and I often use obviously Audible. So I'm a huge Audible reader, and so oftentimes you're able to be like in the car. Maybe you're working out, so maybe you're doing some other stuff as well. And there's you don't have that empty sort of space that you can actually use that time to achieve a couple of things
That's
at
right.
the same time.
That's exactly right. So, Jorge, as we wrap up here, what does the future hold for Jorge Basante and Horizon Air? I know you said you guys are hoping to hit the $5 million mark. What do you hope to accomplish or envision for yourself in your future of your business? Let's just say the next 3 to 5 years.
So we want to be the premier company for HVAC in Houston and in South Texas. Um, that is something that we work on every day. We try to we're going to be moving into a bigger building. We're going to be hiring people as well, and so we just want to be a elite sort of world class company that people we want to work for, and that our customers would like having us in their home as well.
I got it. I got it, man. That is awesome. That is amazing. Um, Jorge, if our listeners would like to learn a little bit more about you, what's the best way to kind of follow your journey going forward?
Yeah, so you can follow me. I'm on Instagram at Jorge underscore Basante. Um, or you can go to my website, www.jorgebasante.com. I'm on LinkedIn. Just, you can shoot me, send me a message, and, I try to respond as soon as possible.
Wonderful, man, dude. This was like the quickest 30 minutes that I've had in a very long time. I could talk to you for a long time. Thank you so much for sharing, and being so open and transparent, and very humble with us about everything that you've experienced in your journey along the way. And you are absolutely a bona fide homepreneur hero, my friend. So thank you, Jorge, for joining me today on the podcast.
Thank you for having me on, Marcus, and I wish you the best of luck with your podcast. I hope to be back sometime when we hit that 5 million mark, and some other numbers as well. So congrats to you. Love your initiative. And obviously, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Jorge. And I also look forward to sharing another, old-fashioned and cigar with you again, like we did the last time.
Please call me.
Okay. All right, my friend. Well, that does it, guys, for another episode of the Homepreneur Heroes podcast. We will catch you here next time. Adios.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Homepreneur Heroes podcast with Marco Salinas. We hope you found inspiration and valuable insights from our guest's journey in the home services industry. Remember to subscribe to our podcast for more stories of entrepreneurial success and tips for growing your own home services business. Until next time, keep striving, keep serving, and keep being a homepreneur hero.